Let's cover when you get a invite from a Jitsi Meet platform. So that's for you to conference. Usually you'll get a link that you'll click onto and it will open it up in a browser automatically. But let me show you here. The link would look something like this: meet.jit.si, and I've got these all in caps and then just drop it down. meet.jit.si / and the name of the meeting. Maybe it's called Sam Room 3456. Maybe that's the name of the room. I'm just making it up now. All you'll do is put that in the browser, a Chrome browser or a Firefox browser, and you press enter. And that's it. It will get you straight into the meeting. And that's about it. So I'm going to just mute the mic and mute the audio, and you are into the meeting. So that's how simple it is. Starting from the bottom, that is to share your screen. So if you open and you share your screen, it will give options of sharing what you have open, whether you want to share an application or the actual browser that we are in. It asks you if you want to share any of those tabs. So if I wanted to, for example, talk and show the folk about Telegram, I'll select that and share my screen, and then my screen would be shared with everybody that's looking at it. When I stop sharing, I'll close it here and I'll get back to my interface again, which is in the previous tab here. Okay, so that's for sharing the screen. This is if you put your hand up during a meeting. If there's many people on the call, you usually put your hand up. It will show as a little icon like that, and the person who's managing the meeting, they will then allow you to speak. Once you're done speaking, you can click the hand again and it will just put it down. This is to send text messages to the participants. You could also send a private message to an individual. The way to do that is when their window pops up, if there's more than one, you click on, there's 3 little dots that will appear on it, and then it will ask you if you want to send a private message. Here, the mute button, if you see these little arrows, this is on a desktop. If you click that, it shows you all the audio devices that are available. If you want to make a different selection, same with the video devices. The middle button here is to put the call off, so that's when you disconnect. If you look in the corner here of your panel, you'll see there's a mic and a video which has been muted. The nice thing about being on a laptop or a desktop is while you have the mic muted, if you press the space bar, it automatically will unmute. So if I tap, when I let go, it switches off. So this is a nice feature. If you just want to talk, when you're done, you let go of the space bar and it will mute itself. So you don't have to physically keep clicking here. Different on the mobile app, you have to click the mute button on and off. So this 4 buttons here is to toggle the tile view. So you'll have it up here, and all of the callers would be listed down in little boxes. Just if you're on the desktop view, you see here it says Rory Me. Usually it would just show me. If you click once there, you're able to change it. Maybe say that was my name. I'd be able to change it in there so everybody would see me as that. The reason for adding your name here is because when you come into a meeting, you're not coming in as somebody who's registered or needed to give any personal information. So this is about the best way that people can see who's in the meeting. The little button next to this, if you click that, it gives you the link that you can share. You can click here to copy the link, share it to some folk. Also, you'll notice here there's a dial-in number. However, with Jitsi, there's about 8 or 10 dial-in numbers and probably not one available for South Africa. So that wouldn't be a recommended source. If you have to work with people that have dial-in numbers and that's going to be a key part of your business model, then I would suggest getting onto Free Conference Call. They've got numbers from all over the world that you can call into the Free Conference Call system. But if you don't need numbers and everybody's coming in via the internet, then we stay here with Jitsi. Then you can add a password, and in this case, because it's democratizing the entire process, there's no one person that's totally in control. So somebody can add a password and others can remove the password. So it's often worked into communities that are working in partnership with each other. The password thing also works well, that if somebody joins the meeting and they're being disruptive, they can be kicked out of the meeting, and then you add a password and they can't come back in without that password. So there's different ways of using the password protocol. Then the three dots here at the bottom, if you click on that, you will see that it's got the name on top. Here again, you click on the name. If your name wasn't there, it would say me. It would open a dialog box for you to enter the name. But this is about the easiest way to click on top. Manage video quality. Now, by default, the Jitsi platform manages the quality on its own. So if it feels that your bandwidth is taking too much strain, it will drop your video and just put an image of you. So you don't pretty much have to manage the process of, deciding how much quality you need to give. But if your bandwidth for your video is generally low, you could come here and you could choose much lower bandwidth. If you choose low or low definition, you might find that your video might not show at all. Just your photo would be showing over there. Okay, that's if you loaded your photo. If you don't have a photo, just your initials will show up there. Then full screen mode, that says what it is. Live stream. This is when you want to live stream through to something like YouTube. You'd click on this button, it will ask you for live stream information. There's a key that you set up on YouTube. You go do the live stream setup on YouTube. YouTube gives you a key which you put in here, and then you click live stream, and that will be able to stream to YouTube. A very useful feature when you streaming your conference call to thousands of people. So you don't invite them onto the conference call, you have them get a link that they can view. Then on the other instance is if you want to record, you can click start record. It will prompt you to put in a Dropbox address. So most people can get a 2 GB Dropbox account. Then you just link it to that, and every recording that you do will be recorded into your Dropbox. So if you want to record unlimitedly, you can just create a Dropbox account and buy more gigs over there. But depending on how much space you have, that's how long you can record. And recordings are kind of excellent quality that you do put out. This feature here is available, share a YouTube video. It's not available on the mobile app to do the same. The one challenge is streaming video through these applications onto a mobile app is a challenge. So if you want to share a YouTube video, you click on this link and then you paste in the YouTube link here and you click share. What happens is from a desktop, it will propagate to every participant the YouTube link, and you, the person who shared it, when you press the play button, everybody sees it at the same time. So that's a great feature for sharing a YouTube streaming video, so that you're not using your screen share to do it. In some cases, if you want to share a video and somebody's on a mobile device, you could also just go and share your screen and play it in your screen, the video. However, that's going to take a bit more bandwidth strain because you're streaming live video across to everybody. So although it seems like the same thing to share your screen and play a YouTube video versus share a YouTube video, the share video one works much better in that the weight of the streaming is put onto each device. So every person is linked directly to YouTube, and the person sharing is the one just controlling the on and off and shutting down of that video link. So sometimes if you want to share a link with a guest and you don't want them to have the physical link, this is a great way of doing it, but it can only be done on computers, so it cannot work on a mobile device using this feature or a tablet. So if you're going to do this, just know that is a limitation when it comes to that. Blur background, this is still in beta version. I'll recommend you don't really use it. I know some other platforms put pictures in your background, but it's, unless you have a unified background, then it makes sense. So I think if they master this, blur the background, that will help, because putting photos and things in your background is a bit distracting. But to blur it so that you can be in your private environment and not expose what's in the rest of your house or your office, that will be a great feature, but it's still in the beta. Settings would just go to set all your video cams, your audio devices, and to put your names and everything in for settings. Here again, because it's a democratizing of conference calls, you don't have a host that can mute everybody. Everybody has the feature to click mute everybody. So there's a level of decorum, there's a level of respect that happens within a meeting, that you don't go click mute everybody here. you do at least have the power of knowing that if somebody is busy talking and somebody else's mic is on, you could go and hover over that person's icon, click on the 3 little buttons and mute that person, because that might be interrupting. And that helps just the speaker, that the speaker doesn't have to stop and say, whose mic is on, etc. So it's a team dynamic that works well. Then speaker stats. The speaker stats can be accessed if you, let's just see. Okay, it's not visible at the moment now, but when you have more than one person on, there's a little icon that comes up here indicating the more than one person. If you click on there, you'll see how many people are on the call. So if I click this now, you'll see the speaker stats comes, it's only Jonathan as the person I've named myself here. And it will show you how many speaking minutes. So this is a nice indication to see who's online, although its purpose is to show you the speaker stats, but it will show you all the people that are connected at the time. And then the final point is the shortcut. View the shortcut. If you want to become familiar with these things, you can utilize it, all the shortcuts. The one that I recommend strongly is just for the computer specifically is the space bar, because that you can hold down space, you unmute it, you do your talking. When you let go, it mutes you again. So that's actually quite fantastic to do. Whoever's speaking will be dominating the screen. So you'll see a blue line come around them and they will maximize on your screen. So the maximizing on the screen is controlled by whether you tile the view or whether you toggle it into this position. So that's about all of it. If you decide that you're done with the meeting, you click to put down here. The last point I want to show you is that if you come just to the Jitsi Meet.jit.sa, you can come into this interface and you can click the name here. You can type the name into this area where you see start a new meeting. These words that are auto-generated here are just to create random meeting names, room names. So if I create this room now, I have to share this link, which will be meet.jit.sa/online first contact Sternly. So I could just click go on this one. If I wait a few seconds, it's going to give me another random name. And this just helps. Nobody can guess these sequences of words. It's like a 1 into 100 million chance somebody's going to guess the exact name and be on the same platform at the same time. It just becomes almost a virtual impossibility. So if you want to use these auto-generated ones for a unique meeting, then go ahead and do that. I'll wait for one to renew. There we got President Combat Invoke. If I go, if you look on top there, you can see President Combats Invoke heavily. You see it creates a room like that. Okay, so I'm going to leave the room. And that's it. So if that's benefited you, get involved, get onto Jitsi, share the meeting. It's as quick as a link on the mobile. You install the mobile Jitsi Meet. And if you've got a link and you click on it, it will ask you if you want to open the mobile. You open it and you'll go directly into the meeting. Or if you want to type the meeting room name, you can open the mobile and it asks you just on the landing page, what's the meeting room name. If you type that in and you press enter, you're right into the meeting. It's a seamless process. And your privacy is always maintained because you don't have to register, you don't have to put email addresses, nothing in. You go into a secure environment, you have your meeting, and when you leave, everything stays with you. It's not like some other third-party company has all those discussions with him. And then the final thing is, if you still feel that is not secure enough, you can set up your own Jitsi server that you can connect through. So if you're running an organization, you set up your own Jitsi server and you use that as your platform to connect, because it's all open source and available for you to do that on your own if you are technically minded.